So first of all, I come from a very middle class background, but a background with very rich values. Coming from what class of the society really doesn't matter. And as a middle class Delhi Punjabi boy, I'm sure there's going to be so much that we all have in common. I'm just one of you with just slightly, more number of experiences or slightly intense experiences that I've had, the nature of my experiences that I've had. But I'm going to give you one very interesting incident, a story, a real life story behind these three words: sincerity, discipline, and punctuality. And you will know why, because sharing about my journey, how I reached where I am today, and there's still a long way to go, but there's a long way that I've already come. So these three words have a beautiful story behind them, starting from, we're all, we all know who we are at the core, while we are growing up. What is important is how well can you recognize that, how well can you follow that, how well can you stick to it. So starting from sincerity. So while I was in school, there used to be some days where our school bus wouldn't be able to come to the place where, like to a certain area, because of some highway jam or some cover, some roadblock. Due to any reason, whenever there used to be a roadblock, so the school used to message that, so these children have an off because the bus won't be able to reach as is a roadblock. So what I used to do, so I mean, we were under 18, so there was no bike driving or car driving, and because of the roadblock, even my parents couldn't drop me to the school. So what I used to do was I used to leave and change 3 to 4 different modes of transportation, from catching an auto, then a cycle rickshaw, then maybe taking lift from someone, and then crossing the border, walking, and then reach school. And my parents and teachers, they used to be like surprised that, I mean, children wait for a holiday. Why do you take so much hassle? Like, why do you go through so much hassle and come to school? It's like, because this is, where I really enjoy myself. I don't like sitting at home and watching TV. My classroom used to be my stage. All my teachers used to be like really fed up with me because I used to like crack jokes. So I was a backbencher and a first bencher at the same time. So I used to keep all my assignments, all my homework, all in place, but used to be a very naughty kid as well. So which is why I always loved going to school, never missed a day at school. I even got 100% attendance award in college, which, like people, I come across as a last bencher, maybe अरे तो actor है, तो ये है, तो वो है, So I have been a last bencher and a first bencher at the same time. So this incident of reaching school through 3, 4 modes of transportation has a very, very, very important place in the story that I'm going to share next, because this show that I got, Punyashlo Kahilya Bai, recently, that the show that I bagged, has a very important connection to this story. So I'll tell you how. So I had a very important look test at the set, and the place where I had to reach, the film set, the set of Ahilya Bai, was almost an hour and a half away from my house. And it was a big day for me, for any actor, like for any person, like a big interview day or a big entrance exam day. So this was my day of my entrance exam, my test. So everything had to be in place, in time, perfect. I had to reach in time. I've always been punctual. So I started from my house around 45 minutes before the reaching time, not only the reaching time, the 15 minutes buffer also. So basically I started so that I could reach that place an hour ago, because I was like, I need to take no chances at all. So I'm going to, just start early. And guess what, when life has its ways to test you. So there was a 8 kilometer long jam, traffic jam, 8 kilometers, and my estimated time of arrival kept increasing from 45 minutes before my required time to 30 minutes to on time, and then it went beyond the time I was supposed to reach. And I was like, what is happening? I started an hour ago, thinking that there might be, no scope of any mistake happening, and then this happened. So the the person who I am at the core, जो स्कूल पहुंचता था तीन चार लोगों के तीन चार मोड्स ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्टेशन चेंज करके किसी से लिफ्ट लेके, you won't believe. So I called the person. Who I was coordinating with at the set. That, sir, I'm really sorry. I was supposed to reach at 12:30, and I've been stuck here in traffic for the last 45 minutes. I was running early, and now I'm running late. So I'm really sorry. And he was like, yeah, I know, I'm aware. It's a very big traffic jam, like a very long traffic jam, and we are aware of it. So don't worry. And I was just 8 kilometers away, like 15 minutes of time and 8 kilometers away. And I was like, yeah, मैं क्या करूं, कैसे पहुंचूं? I would have ran. It was raining also. It was raining. It was windy, and even the wrong side, like the other side, also got jammed because people were taking the other side also. So now both the sides were stuck. Imagine the biggest day of your life, and you are facing this, that there's traffic jam on both the sides. I was in my cab, and I was like, what do I do now? I got out of the cab. It fortunately stopped raining. I took an auto. The auto also got stuck on the wrong side. Then I took a lift from a biker, and he dropped me. And from not being able to reach on time, this biker, who came as a blessing in my life, he made me reach there 2 minutes early. He just swooped his way through the traffic, and मतलब मेरे जूते पूरे कीचड़ में गंदे हो गए, because हाईवे पे इतना ज्यादा पानी कीचड़ और सब था बारिश की वजह से. And where I'm supposed to like look my best, be calm and everything, I just surrendered. I just got out of the cab, took an auto, left an auto, took a lift, and then reached there 2 minutes early. And the person there was shocked. He was like, आप तो 8 किलोमीटर दूर जाम में थे, आप कैसे पहुंचे? मैं बोला, सर मैं लिफ्ट लेके आया हूँ. And he had told me, that it's okay if you come late. We understand that, like it's a jam. So I was like, नहीं सर, मुझे टाइम पे पहुंचना, तो मैं लिफ्ट लेके आ गया. And he just looked at me. And later on, when I got the show, when I signed the contract, my director told me that apart from your audition, the way you looked or whatever, everything was secondary. This thing about me taking a lift and reaching the set on time reached the top officials, the producer, the director, and they all were like, like he's someone who would, go to any extent to come on time. That's the kind of a man we want for our show. And that became one of the strongest points for me getting the show. And I got to know about this later on. So then when I sat by myself all alone, I realized that, okay, this is who I am at the core, I would do this even for my school, where nobody would reward me, with anything or anything. Some things which you do for yourself, who you are at the core, those are the things that ultimately will really help you achieve what you want in life. So giving you the biggest example of my life, and requesting all of you to always recognize that one thing about you, which is special, because you will not even realize how and when and where that one thing will do wonders for you. So this was like a miracle for me. मैं time पे पहुंच गया, and not that if I hadn't reached on time, things would have gone differently. Maybe I might have still got on the show, or I may have not got on the show. But the way this added to who I am, and about my sincerity and discipline, is what now became my identity. And I'm really grateful that I at least have this platform to share this beautiful incident of my life with you all, to make you reassure, to reassure your faith in the fact that nothing goes unnoticed. So anything that you do, any effort that you put in anything, don't expect results. Just do it with all your heart. Do it with all your passion, honesty, and believe me, it never goes in vain. It never goes in vain. Another beautiful incident I'm going to share with you from my school. So I was in class 12, and my English teacher was our school's vice principal also, headmistress. So she used to collect notebooks for checking after like every 5 to 10 chapters. So not after every chapter. So we used to like, so as I told you, I am a first bencher and a backbencher as well. So I used to keep maintaining my English notebook side by side, like so that I can submit it whenever she asks for it. So now one day before submission, 80% of the class wasn't like they didn't even have an English notebook. And the next day, we all were supposed to like submit at least 8 to 9 chapters. So like good 50, 60 pages of question answers and stuff. And none of them had prepared. And I had my notebook ready. So the next day, when I reached school and majority of the class didn't have their notebooks ready, someone mischievously stole my English notebook, and the previous day I had boasted in the class, ki, bhai, mera kaam to pura hai, I'm going to submit. So I was that slightly annoying boy of the class as well. Ki, bhai, mera kaam pura hai, I'm going to submit my notebook tomorrow, and someone stole the notebook. And I was in such an embarrassing situation. So ma'am thought that I was lying. She was like, Gaurav, I mean, you shouldn't lie. And this is one thing about me, which my parents have taught. I have never lied to my parents or to my teachers or to my special people ever. No matter if I have done something wrong also, this one thing has been told to me that I never ever lie. I always go and tell the truth. So to hear this from my teacher, and that too after maintaining my English notebook, that I'm lying, it broke my heart. It broke my heart. 10 chapters of my notebook just gone, and somebody just mischievously just stole it. I went back home that night, and I remember after my tuitions, after the regular schedule after school, the next day now we had to submit the notebook, and I was already labeled as a liar. I was just boasting, and I didn't even have my notebook ready. I went back home. I sat at 10:30 at night. I had all my answers marked in my English textbook. I bought a new notebook. I covered it, put a new name slip, and I wrote all the 8 to 10 chapters in that one night. I remember my itni continuously lick ke, this became flat. My thumb and my index finger had a pen mark, and I wrote till 4:30, 4:45, and 5:30 I anyway had to get up to get ready for school. 6:15 my bus used to come. Entire night I made the notebook from scratch, and I went to my headmistress and I kept that notebook on the table, because the previous day, with tears in my eyes, I had told her, ma'am, believe me, trust me, I had my notebook, someone had stolen it, and I'll come tomorrow with a surprise. And I came with a fresh notebook with all 10 chapters ready. With tears in my eyes, I just kept it on the table in front of the whole class. And I said, ma'am, here it is. And whoever's done this, it's really bad. But to prove my point, I made that notebook in one night. And the best part now, the person who must have stolen it must have gotten so embarrassed that he quietly kept my notebook at my headmistress's table also, whenever he or she must have gotten a moment. And then there were 2 English notebooks. My 2 English notebooks in front of the entire class and headmistress. So that was one day, where I won her trust for the rest of my life. And she's our school principal right now. And she gave me a book with a handwritten note on it, that always be like this. And, this sincerity and this honesty, always maintain that. So from that little incident to be able to reach my rehearsals on time, or, so these are little things, now honesty, trust, discipline, are very small words. But how do you really emphasize on them? How do you really, draw them in your life? Is by these little things, whatever you want to do. Let me tell you one thing, nothing is genuinely, nothing is unachievable. Only if you genuinely believe in it, if you genuinely want to pursue it, if you can go to any extent to achieve it, with all your might, I promise you one thing, you can achieve anything that you want. So to conclude my talk, all I want to say is, life is very simple. Living may seem very hard sometimes, but life is very simple. the basic rules of life: love, trust, be kind to people and to your passion and to your dreams. Be kind to your dreams, be loving to your dreams, be honest with your dreams and with people around you. Because one last and very important thing which I want to share is all the blessings of my school teachers, my college teachers, my seniors, my gurus, my father, my mother, my friends, you know, जितना वो कहते हैं ना, लोगों की दुआएं जितनी लगती हैं, और ये फैक्ट है, मतलब I really believe in this. So when you be nice to people, when you be loving towards people, and the love that they shower, and don't be loving towards people with an agenda in your head. Just be nice to people, and when that reciprocates, when that comes back to you, you are going to receive 10 times, 50 times of what you really expect. So just be full of love and full of faith for life and people around you. And I promise you, you all are going to achieve whatever you want. Thank you so much.